Alrighty, how's it going, everybody? 01 of 1 back again, and I just got caught outside in a storm again, which is fun. I'm fine, right? Just had to wait it out. Luckily, my battery and everything lasted long enough, so that's always good. Water, as you can see, ran a little low. We're now at 0% water, so that was fun. And now we're at 100%. There we go. Okay. Well, 99 anyways. Let's see. Let's check our potatoes and see if they're doing a thing. Okay, so are we seated? Okay, so we're seated here. So let's try out our little button here. So if we activate... Oh, you have to hold it down? Oh, well... Okay, so I guess a button isn't going to work. So we'll go with a lever. So, there we go. Okay. Then we activate it again. Okay. And one more time. Except it's not actually doing anything. Why is it not actually doing anything? Okay, export count is 3, so that's the amount of things that can be exported. It's already turned on. Do I have to set like the mode to something? Like what's... Hang on. Harvey. Okay. Okay, so we have import and export. Happy, unhappy, dead. Okay. So do we have to change the mode? Actually, hang on a sec. Let me check to see what Cows Are Evil did in his stuff here. So, let's clear this. Library, Harvey's, load. Okay, so we got all this thing, right? Let's see, set name, blah, 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 move, peak set name, reset, load, something. Okay, so that's it? Okay. This isn't really helping me very much, is it? R0 is the set name, right? So this is going through all of the set stuff. Branch if equal to R0, which is the set name. So if that equals -1, then go to plant. But what is R0? R0 is... What is R0? Okay, so we're load, batch load into R0 from Harvey, set name, activate, and then minimum. Load, batch, N0, what is that? Loads logic slot type from slot index from all output devices with provided type and name hashes using the provided batch mode. Okay. Batch mode is 0, which is going to be average. Okay. And then tray, what is tray? I don't know. In the branch of less than, otherwise harvest. Wait, harvest is a thing? Hang on. Let's go back to this. Is there harvest? Activate. Oh, there is. Ew. Well, that's what we wanted to do, is to harvest, right? Okay. So, let's turn this off. And then, can I change this back to a button? I would like that to really be a button. Okay. And that wants to go to harvest. There we go. Okay, so now if we do this, and we push the button. Hey, there we go. And we'll do it one more time. Does a thing. Sweet. And then one more time. It's not doing anything. Okay, so it picked these. How many? Oh, geez. How many potatoes did that just grow? Like 4 each? Like, dude. I guess that's just putting everything in, I guess. Okay, I guess we'll take our little seeds here. I think we just made like a lot of potato. I don't know, it seems like a good idea. We have all kinds of potatoes. 20 potatoes here, 20 potatoes. We have 42 potatoes right now. It's a lot of potatoes. Alright, so that's doing a thing, I think. So that works, I guess, which is good. I think. Anyways, back to what I was doing. Okay. Did I change that? Let me go back outside and check. Okay, so I went over here and I set this thing. Oh wait, no, that has to be set from the inside. So you can see that's doing a thing, right? So that's cool. But I'm trying to get my little whatever situation down here to work properly, which is proving to be more difficult than I originally anticipated. So we've got this whole thing set up here, okay. And also there we go. So that's just gonna help us pull a vacuum. So we have one upstairs, we have one now down here. And those are just gonna be always on, always pulling a vacuum, because this decided to explode, as you can see, which is why I needed these things set up. So what this is gonna do, let me just paint it real quick so I can make sure that it'll work properly. Alright, so that is good. That's all just gonna go out there. Okay. Okay, so the issue was this is pulling in cold atmospheric stuff from the outside, which is condensing the pollutant. So this was filling up with a bunch of liquid pollutant, which then, of course, exploded and filled the whole area with pollutant. Then we got up to like 15 kilopascals or whatever. I was just like watching it, like trying to figure out what I needed to do. But that's when we have this. So we have our condensation valve here, which will take any liquid that is currently in here, and it'll shove it out through here. This is an expansion valve, so it'll take the liquid and then immediately shove it out there. And that's just a regular gas passive vent. So that is why we use the expansion valves. That way we can take this out of here and then shove it out. And then all that's left in here should be, yeah, so we have a little bit of pollutant in there, liquid pollutant, but the rest of it is fine. The stress is dropping, so that's good. And the temperature in here is, well, it's higher than I would like. Also, we're at 18 megapascals in there. Okay, so, and it is 851 degrees outside, Kelvin, that is. So, pretty warm. That's fun. So what this thing is supposed to do is if the temperature is above a certain point, it's supposed to just vent everything out, which I think it's trying to do. But I think I have it, hang on, let me just grab this out of here. Did that take damage? That took damage, really. Oh, that's not great. Here, go in there, and then we will import from that. Hello? What's that? Okay, import. Import? Dude. Cancel. Import. Okay, hang on. Let's go into here. Okay, so this has nothing there, right? So we're clearing it. Oh, was I just zoomed too far? Okay, hang on. Cancel. Throw this in here. Import. Edit. There we go. Okay. So we're setting in our vents. So we have an input vent and we have an output vent. We have our tank, we have our sensor. So the sensor is getting our outside temperature so we know when to pull in stuff. Our tank is where we're storing the stuff. And then for our variables, we have tank temp, tank pressure, outside temp, out vent. So that's the outward vent on off, the inward vent on off. And so what we're doing here is we're reading the tank temp from the tank. So, well, hang on. So we're reading values, tank temp, tank pressure, outside temp, pulling that from the tank and the sensor, and we're pulling it from there. And I'm also setting the housing to the outside temperature so I can just kind of like look at it and see what it's doing. Okay, so I think what the issue here is that it's going through all of this and it there's no waiting in between. So I think that is why we need the yield here, which I did not put in. Confirm, export. Let's just throw that back into there. Okay, so now it's blowing stuff out and it should do it like in second long bursts or something like that. Yeah. But I'm using the same variable twice, which is probably why it's not liking me so much right now. So I'm using out vent on off for both the pressure and the temperature. So what I want is for the tank temperature, because it's too hot in there right now, so I want that to vent out. But the pressure is still under 4,500, which means that it's turning it back off and it's turning it back on. And yeah, it's doing a whole thing. So how do I get this thing to function better? Well, hang on. If I put in like a, so this would be like a branch greater than, I guess, BGT. If our tank temp is greater than 423, I want to go to vent tank, I guess. And then we'll put that here. And then this is vent tank. And then after this one, we go back to read values. Of course, we have to make sure everything is capitalized properly. There we go. So if the temperature inside the tank is too hot, it'll keep jumping to here. And then it'll just kind of go back until the temperature inside the tank is less than that, and then it'll actually go through here and worry about the tank pressure and filling it back up again. I think that's going to give me issues though. So this is going to have to come after. Okay, so hang on. So let's see. So set less than in vent on off outside temp 408 set vent in on in vent on off. Okay, and then we want to have this part, and then we can take this part out because I want it to fill up. Like if it's cold outside, right? What is this? Do I need that? Hang on. Oh wait, no. Can I do a Control Z? Nope. Okay, so this is our branch, and I meant, okay, so set vent out on out vent on off. I think that's what that's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. So then this is going to check to see if our, yeah, so if we're at night, it'll pull in the temperature, or it'll pull in stuff, so it'll turn that vent on. And then it's going to check to see what our temperature is. And then if our temperature is greater than 423, go into here and turn this off, which I think would be fine. I don't know. We'll just confirm that we'll take this thing out. You can export and then hop back in. All right. See if that makes any kind of a difference. Okay, so that is dropping down. We are increasing our stress, which is not great. Temperature is dropping, so that's good. A little worried about the stress though. Because if that's not enough, then I have to put in another one of these. And then also, what is our whatever in there? That's okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let me grab another vent. Or valve. Vent. What am I talking about? We're trying to keep things from blowing up. That's what we're attempting. Alright, so valve. There we go. Okay, and I have enough liquid pipes. Basically, I'm just going to put another condensation valve in there and then let it just kind of do its thing. Because this thing Ooh, what's going on there? It's dumping out a bunch of stuff. Okay. Come on, up we go. Alright, so, condensation valve. Nope. It looked like it was proper, but it was not. Is that going the right way now? Okay, yep. Okay, can we just get me up? Okay, this is annoying. Okay, so we have that now. Now, all I need to do is get this thing to go into there, and then that should hopefully reduce the condensation a little bit more. Hopefully without blowing anything up, because that would be bad. Alright, you and you and you. All of you can just do a thing. Alright, so let's see if hopefully that's doing a thing. Okay, so that is still staying under where we need. Okay, so that's good. This is dropping in stress, good. And we are shoving out a ton of liquid right there. And it's not blowing anything up, which is great. So, cool. And then this is doing a thing. We're at 147 in there and 22.6 megapascals. So that's fun. And we have 23 liters of stuff in there. Stress is still dropping, so that's good. And now we have a bunch of stuff out there. That's fun. All right, so with that, we should now have something that is operating within the area that it should be operating in. Did that just mess stuff up? I think it did. Yeah, go back in there. All right, whatever. Okay, so that's doing a thing, which means that we should be dropping our temperature in here down. And apparently I need air. We're at 37.9 degrees here. That's not amazing. We're at 152 in there, so this needs to be colder. There's a lot of stress in that pipe. Oh, right. Because I have to actually connect it for it to work. That makes sense. Okay. Now that should dump out a whole bunch more. Also, we gotta make sure we paint this thing. Do I need to paint it? No. Do I want to paint it? Yes. Alright. So that's dropping that stress down, which means that our... Okay, so this should be doing a thing. I'm hoping. Yeah, we're at 148 in here. Okay, so that is now condensing, so that's great. All right, let me just go and grab some air real quick. Man. I think it went too far. Yep, okay. Sounds like something is trying to break. It's usually not a good thing. Alright, so that is doing a thing, I guess. We'll eat our potato, drink some water. Okay. Why is that doing a weird thing? I don't know, visual glitches. Very, very strange. Alright, how are we doing over here? You should be done condensing, right? Yeah. Oh, that broke. Why did that break? That's not cool. Okay. Not sure exactly what's going on there, but okay. Alright, power is looking good. We must be out of the winter season now, so that's good. How are we doing over here? Okay, so we're still venting all kinds of pollutant, which I suppose is good. It means that it's cool enough in there for it to condense. Okay, so that should be doing a thing, right? Okay, so we started off at 46 degrees. We're now at 37 degrees in here, which means it's not actually doing all that much. Huh. Okay, so this still isn't working properly. Alright, if I update the temperature in here, would that do something? Import. Okay, so branch of greater than 423. Okay, so what's 423? That's going to be 150. So if we drop this down to 18. Hang on. Do some quick math. So 273 plus, we'll say like 145. No, 273 plus 145 is 418. Okay, good. And then 418. Okay, confirm, export. Trying to keep the temperature down a little bit in there. Now that should start venting all the stuff out of there because it's too hot in there. Okay. It's going to take time though. And we're still shoving all of the liquid out, so that's something. Okay, so other options. I mean, in order to fix this, I keep having to go back to the atmospherics units. So it's like, if I have to do that for all of this just to make it work, like, why not just use them? instead of all of this crap. Because this obviously is not, it's not working very well. Because, I mean, I'm going to have to put an atmospherics unit so I can take this out of here and then cool that down and then take the cool down stuff and then throw it down into here. And then if I have to do that, I might as well just build like a series of atmospheric units. Atmospherics. Let's see, where is it? And then we want the air conditioner. I could have just typed in air conditioner, I suppose. Uses 10 watts, right? So, and that's base power usage. I think it goes up as it uses more power or something like that. And the phase change device uses 50 watts as base power. So it's like, is this even worth me doing all of this? Or do I just go with making a bunch of atmospheric units and just have them step down the temperature? I mean, like, this whole phase change thing just, it doesn't do what I want it to do, basically. Because, I mean, like, even on here, right? Like, I'm still using the air conditioner to cool things down. And, like, I'm getting, like, what am I getting out of it? Okay, we're down to 1 megapascal here, so let's fill that back up. So it's like, what is the purpose of doing this if I can just put these things together? And at least that thing I have like more control over how it works. I mean, and if I want this thing, because I mean, like, once I get this thing up and running, like, the Stirling engine should more than cover, you know, any power that I'm using for that. Plus I've got like the zillions of solar panels up on the roof too, so let's see. If I make a bunch of these, we can make 2 right now. I think I need to make more copper, and I left this on. Whoops. All right. 1, 2, 3. We'll do like 250. I think that'll work. All right. So you there. That will make all of my copper for me. All right, make another 3. We can do a 5-stage system. And then I'll just toss these down there. And like the thing is, like with this, we can get the temperatures down like really, really far. Or I could just set this thing up so that way it'll work and then just not worry about anything else. I suppose we could try that first. Let's do that first before we go crazy with all this other stuff. So let's get this into here so we can set this thing up on top. Okay, sir. Sir, go up there. All right. All right, so we're gonna have. I feel like this should be over here or something. Let's just go over. That did not work. Sir, thank you. All right, so this has to drop down over here and go into there, which is behind here. Okay. All right, and then if we're using the air conditioner, we're going to have, let's see, I mean, we could just put, if I did it like this, that might work. Okay, so then we'll set this to like 100 degrees, I guess. That should be more than enough because that should stay roughly 150 in there. So that'll get us within that 50 degree range of guaranteed cooling. Okay, so that'll go over there. And then, let's see, we'll take the frames back out. Okay. And this is our output. And then we have to get all of this connected somehow. So let's get that down. That too. I keep just like adding more and more crap to this thing, hoping that I can maybe make it work. Merging requires wire cutters. Okay. All right, then what I can do now I need the wrench. All right. Oh, that was fine. We can run that out to here. That can go into here. And then this can be, well, whatever it needs to be, I guess. So that needs to be one of these things. All right. Wait, no, not that one. That one. Okay. Oh, right. Need that to be connected to the input. There we go. Okay. Okay, temperature's definitely changing in there. Oh, I have this hooked up backwards. Okay. Or do I? No, wait, hold on. Yeah, I've got it hooked up backwards. Okay. So this, we're gonna have to move the whole thing out. Yeah, this whole thing has to move. Great. Then we need, what do we need? One of these things. Wrench, okay. Hand drill, all right. All right, so then we need our input and output to go to this line. And then we needed this to go one more past it, which means that this had to move out one. Okay. It's fine. We're fine. Man, this phase change stuff is just kind of ridiculous. Oh, that probably still needs to be there. It's just now, it'll be like this. And that is where that will go. Okay, so now we need to put our stuff down again. Go up on there, please. Go up on there, please. Okay, can we just... I hate this. Go up there. All right. Now, let's try this again. All right, so this thing I think has to go one more out, and then we go in this way. And then this gets disconnected from here. Do not fall down. Okay. And then this gets replaced with this. Okay, and then that has to go down. So we're going to do one of these things. Okay, and then atmospherics kit goes into here, and then we need this to go here because this is where we want the heat to dump. And then that can go here. All right. No, that's not what I need. I need this. Okay. All right, and then this needs to go into there, like that. Okay. Okay, so that should now be cooling this. There we go. And then that should be dumping all of the waste heat up into there. Now we should be condensing. Okay. So that appears to be doing a thing. That appears to be dropping. Okay, so is this crazy contraption actually working now? Because this is a lot. So now I guess we just let this run for a while. And temperature in there is at 153, so that should be pushing a bunch of that out, which means I'm not going to have anything in there to cool from, or to dump the pressure or heat into. So then again, this thing is only going to be working at night when this is cold enough. And then if that's the case, then like if I want this to be working all the time, then it needs to be able to handle the entire range of heat. And this system currently cannot do that. Yeah, so that's just going to empty it all out because it's too hot, and it's not going to be able to pull in anymore because, again, it's too hot outside. So we're just going to be left with stuff that's too hot. Now, dude, it would just be so much easier if I just did the stage system than having to mess around with all this phase change crap. I mean, yeah, it might use more power, but it's easier to control rather than this whole nonsense here. All right, what time? We're at 48 minutes. All right, we're gonna rip apart the entire thing because it does not work as well as I want it to work. So we got all kinds of atmospheric units here. We're going to rip everything out. We're going to take that out. We're going to take that out. We're just basically going to rip everything out of here. And do it in a better way. Because kind of required. Nope, this way. I had it right the first time. All right. I need more potatoes. Yeah, we'll get a little bit more cleaning in here. It'll be fine. Okay. Turn that on because I think we got, yeah, 5 liters in there. So we definitely want to move that out. And then all of that water can go back into my water supply, which can also help to feed the plants. This actually takes a little while. And then all this is doing is just dumping the clean water back into the water supply. So this is fairly simple. Looks like this is dropping 1.3 moles per tick. There we go. And we have 3 charcoal left. Okay. So I'm gonna have to make some more charcoal. Not a problem. But that we now have 10 liters of liquid in our system now, so that's good. All right. You guys ready to rip a whole bunch of stuff apart? Yay! All right. So, first things first. Let's take this out. And we'll throw that, I don't know, like over here, I guess. And then the powered vents, I don't know if I necessarily need to do anything with those, because if I'm using like the air conditioning system rather than this phase change crap, I don't need another thing in there to do all the cooling and stuff. Now I probably will use the pollutant because, you know, it does work somewhat. But for all the rest of this, I mean, unless this is dropped in temperature like significantly, which it is actually quite cold. Okay, so maybe we actually let this run. I don't know. But, I mean, do I stick with this system and just let it ride? Well, okay, because we're gonna need an additional cooling system anyways. All right, I have to set all this crap up again. Okay, so this needs, what does this need? It's gonna give me a bunch of errors, right? Because, all right, can I, okay. Vent in, all right. Pump, logic writer, powered vent inward, vent out. Powered vent inward, outward, there we go. Tank. Powered vent, pressure regulator, purge valve, purge valve, purge valve, purge valve, purge valve. Small tank insulated. Heatsink, okay. Then we need our sensors. That's going to be in the G. There we go, gas sensor heat. And all of that is now set up. Okay, we good? All right. We'll just let it continue with whatever it is that it's doing. Yeah, so there's nothing left in there right now because it was too hot. So once night falls, it should start filling back up again, which means that the whole system should turn back on again. Because right now it's got like quite literally nothing. What am I looking at? This thing. Yeah, there you go. So that's where our refrigerant goes, right? And there's nothing in there because that's pulling out of here, and this is empty. So this isn't going to run full time, but I don't know. All right, so that's going to cool this down to a ridiculous degree. And then I need to cool it down even farther, so that's going to be fun. And then all of that then has to get stored into here. And if I go any colder with the pollutant, there's a potential that it'll go and turn into solid pollutant, which will break things, which we don't want. So we're going to have to use nitrogen as the coolant and the thing that is being cooled. Which is going to be interesting. Whereas I could have just kind of like run normal atmosphere, I guess. Well, maybe not normal atmosphere, but throw a purge valve on there, or not purge valve, but condensation valve on there to get all the pollutant out or whatever. And then just run it from here and then just stage it down until you get all the way to the end here. And by the time I get to the end of this, we would probably have our liquid nitrogen to a very, very, very cold temperature. And then I can get rid of all of this. Okay, let's just give it a try. Placement is blocked by blast door. Placement is blocked by reinforced window. Great. So I can't put it there even if I wanted to. Well. So if we take in our atmosphere from this side, we can also take our nitrogen in from this side. So let's see what we can do here. So yeah, so this will make our loop over here on this side. Now with our main power cable over there, we probably want to move this out over to here. And then we'll grab another one of these. We'll grab the other two as well. Okay, so that's power, and then that has to go there. Okay. And then power and pipe going there. And then power and pipe going there. And I'm going to need a lot more cables for this. I mean, that should be filling up now, right? Because it is night out. Yeah. Which means that this should be cooling down even more. That's fun. Oh, I wonder if this is going to start liquefying. That could be a problem. Nitrogen. And then compare this to pollutant. So as long as our pressure is above, there we go. I need 4 megapascals for that to liquefy. Or if it's a, yeah, because I'm like way down here at like 200 kilopascals. So I would have to bring the pressure way, 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 way up for that to be there. But that has to still get down to like negative 93, which is like really, really cold. It's already at negative 16, so it's doing a thing, I guess. But yeah, I want to try to get this to like absolute max cold if I can, because that's just going to be interesting. We'll see how that works though. And it's certainly cooling down quickly, so that's good, maybe, sort of. And then I also have to get some of the, before it gets cooled down, nitrogen. Now granted, the nitrogen over here on this side is still at 46 because I got a one-way valve here. So it's just to separate the temperatures, but then as soon as you get over here, it's a little chilly. Almost at Europa temperatures right there. And then this is down to 17 liters. Okay. Just keep an eye on that, I guess. All right, let's go and make more stuff. Cables, specifically. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting setup, I think. I mean, I don't think we're going to get to the point where we get solid nitrogen. I don't even know if that is a thing that we can do in the game. I'm just trying to like build it in my head, I guess. But I mean, with 4 stages, if we're dropping 75 degrees per stage, that's like an extra 300 degrees of drop that we can potentially get with just this right here, which is kind of insane. But it needs to be I mean, we're going to be pumping all of that into here. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. And then, how are we going to run our power? I didn't even think about that. Okay, so let's just start by connecting the things that we know need to be connected. So we're going to go out to here. And then that's going to go out to here. You know what I could do? I could shorten this up quite a bit. Because if I run the cables down, then I can have this pipe in the same place. Or I could just leave it, call it good. It'll be fine. Okay. So that is our second loop. Okay, that's taking way too long. Okay, and then this is going to be our final loop right here. And then however we decide to get that over to here, something like that anyways. All right, so we have 4 stages here. How well is this going to work? I have no idea. But the idea is that we get our nitrogen, once cooled, of course, to go through here, and I'll put some valves in between here. Or, I don't know, I'll figure something out. So we can sort of like fill up all of this with a certain amount of megapascals, 5 megapascals maybe, of nitrogen. And that should be enough of a heat transfer material to get this whole thing to work. And let's see what this is at. Negative 60 degrees. Okay. It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly. And that is emptying out again because it is too hot. But if I'm telling this thing to cool down to 100, I could probably tell that to not empty it if it's under 275, or if it's over, I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's see if we can get that working. Import. Okay, so we're at 100 degrees. We're going to want 175. So 175 plus 273, 448. Okay, 448. Confirm, export. That should allow us a little bit more leeway in here. Okay, so it stopped, but not before it basically emptied everything out. It's fine. I don't know, man. But that'll get us... Well, how cold can we get nitrogen? Negative... Okay, so negative 230 is the bare minimum. So we would want this to be like, this final one here to be at like 235 or something. I don't know. And then I got to figure out how to get all of our power to connect in. So that'll be fun. Because right now, this little transformer right here is running all of this, which I don't know if that's putting out enough power. It's 2,500 watts. Oh, you are on. Are you supposed to be on? I don't think you're supposed to be on, sir. Okay, so we have 10 liters of water that we could potentially use. Do we have 34 items in there to process. And this thing is still at 100%. Okay, good. Okay, so that's doing a thing. I need more water. So let me see what our oxygen is at. 1.74 megapascals. Okay. What is this at? Nothing. Okay. Okay, that should be good. That has to get up quite high in temperature. But that should get us a lot of fuel, and then we can start working on that. Yeah, then we can start probably pulling out of this. And then probably also pulling out of that. Try to get as much water as we can, because we're going to need a lot of it. All right, and then how are we doing over here? Okay, so this needs to be filled up again. Good. All right, so that'll get us more pollutant, CO2, whatever we need. We have almost 40,000 moles in there of CO2. It's a lot. Definitely a lot. And then how are we doing up here? 12 megapascals, 15 here, okay. See, I feel like this process going from like 140 something degrees to like 25 degrees could be done in like 2 stages of this instead of like all of this crap right here. So I just, I don't know, man. What are we at? 238. It's a lot. It's a lot of, how many moles do we have? 10 moles of liquid H2O, 166 moles of gaseous H2O, and then in here we've already pulled out about 100 moles, and then yeah, it's too hot to really do anything in there, so I think it's like what is it, 50 moles to a liter, 150 moles to a liter, something like that. It's some ridiculous number. That should be probably pretty good for that. How are we doing here? 88, 98. All right, we'll let that equal out a little bit more. Okay. So I'm still not sold on this phase change stuff here. I'm really not. Like even this. Well, okay, so this, yes, because we're bringing something that is very, very, very hot down to a very specific temperature, and we're doing it very, very quickly, comparatively. If I was to do that with, you know, the air conditioning units or whatever, that would have required much more steps, I think. Well, maybe. I mean, as long as my refrigerant is at some sort of useful temperature and is being cooled or whatever, then maybe I could have done all of that without this thing too. But I don't know, man. I think the reason why these were introduced is because they use less power, but do they really? Because I mean, you got this thing, which, sure, right? But you need a purge valve, which needs power. And you need a purge valve per station, which needs power, right? And then all of the other stuff to create, you know, the liquid pollutant, right? So this thing needs power to make the liquid pollutant. So it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, our power's still good. Okay, how are we doing? Okay, what do we have in here? 278 moles. And it's 2,346 degrees right there. Kind of insane. But that's dumping, you know, a fair amount of heat into our, you know, waste stuff. So, you know, Who am I to complain? All right, we are at an hour and 15 minutes in the video, so I think I'm going to end it here. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, hope you'll join me for the next one. But until then, have a good one.